Service Commission, SSC Combined Graduate Level Exam, and also the CLAT examinations. So do visit AKS IAS Academy and also the website of AKS IAS Academy. About me, I am Sandeep Bhushan Thumala, and my credentials are: I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations and internal security, as well as the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will certainly help you to crack prelims and mains examinations, because I would be emphasizing through my session the keywords and the key phrases, and these keywords and the key phrases which you can be in a position to identify the factual, analytical and conceptual questions for the prelims 2021. And while imbibing the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing, that is for the mains 2020, you will certainly score higher marks, because by imbibing the keywords and the key phrases, your answers would be precise and concise. And once your answers are precise and concise, no doubt you will score higher marks in the mains 2020. Therefore, my session will certainly help you to crack prelims and mains 2020, as well as prelims and mains 2021, and especially focusing on the mains 2020. So do follow my session, that is AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis, completely, so that you will be benefited. And this session is in regards to the DNA, that is Daily News Analysis of today's, that is 28th September 2010-2020 of the Hindu newspaper. And before I get into the topic, I would say a very good morning to everyone, the one who is in the live and also in the live chat. A warm welcome to everyone to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis, and a warm welcome to Nandini, Azmat Khan, Tejasri. A warm welcome to you all to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And before we get into the topic, we will look at the quote of the day. And the quote of the day is: your own or your only limit is you. So there is no one who is trying to control your mind. It is you yourself who is controlling, who is trying to have limit on yourself. So take out that limit, what is pushed by yourself onto yourself. So your only limit is you. So make sure that you have a positive limits or positive movements, that you would succeed in your future. D. Suvarna has joined, Khaja has joined. A warm welcome to both of you to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And now we'll get into the topic of the newspaper, that is the Hindu newspaper. Chinese soldiers who strayed across LAC held in Ladakh. So a Chinese soldier has been arrested in a sector, that is Demchok sector in eastern Ladakh, wherein he got lost across the LAC. Across the LAC he got lost, and thereby our Indian Army has identified a Chinese soldier in the Demchok sector, and it was also identified by the People's Liberation Army, that is the Chinese army, that the soldier, Chinese soldier is the PLA soldier, identified by the PLA, and his name is Wang Yao Long. And the PLA soldier has been provided from India the medical assistance, including the oxygen, food and warm clothes, so that he can protect himself from the extreme altitude and harsh climatic conditions. No doubt the Chinese soldier, he has entered into, or he got lost and entered into the Demchok sector on the eastern Ladakh into the Indian territory, but still Indian Army has provided the medical assistance, including the oxygen, food, warm clothes, so that he can be protected, he can be safe from the extreme altitude and harsh climatic conditions. And there are few established protocols, and as per the protocols, the Indian Army will return the Chinese soldier back to the Chinese at the Chuzul Moldo meeting point. So you have a meeting point between the Indian territory and the Chinese territory along the LAC, and that meeting point is called as the Chuzul Moldo Chuzil is in the Indian side. Moldo is in Chinese territory. So there the meeting point would take place, and after completing of the formalities which are established protocols in the sense rules and regulations, once one particular, that is Chinese soldier, gets into Indian territory by whatever reasons, they would get into the interrogation, and then they will investigate why he has come, on what basis he has come back, or he has lost the way and he has come back into Indian territory, and then they will look into it. They will have the medical examinations conducted, and thereby again after a set established protocols, he will be sent back or handed over to the Chinese army, and that will take place at the Chuzul Moldo meeting point. Chuzul Moldo, these are the two places. Chuzul is on the Indian side, Moldo is on the Chinese side. And as per the procedure, there would be interrogation. No doubt, we have provided food, we have provided oxygen, warm clothes to protect himself, but also there would be an interrogation on the circumstances of the crossing. As I did explain, that they will look into the what is the circumstance or what is the condition why the soldier has entered into the Indian territory, and they will also go ahead with the medical examination of the soldier, Chinese soldier, and as per the established protocol, he will be handed over to the Chinese army at the Chuzul Moldo meeting point. And we have seen in the month of June, that is on June 15th midnight, there was a clash between the Indian soldiers and the Chinese soldiers in the Galwan Valley, and in the midst of it 20 brave Indian soldiers have been martyred. And at that scenario, there were Indian soldiers, 10 Indian soldiers who have been into the custody of the Chinese army, because some way or the other they were also into the Chinese territory, and they also, that is 10 Indian army personnel, were also released by the PLA, that is People's Liberation Army, that is Chinese army. They have also released 10 Indian army personnel in the month of June. So now also India, the Chinese soldier who has got lost into the Indian territory will be interrogated, will be taken up the medical examination, and then providing the food and warm clothes would be handed over to the Chinese army. And on behalf of this also, the Union Minister of State for Home, G. Kishan Reddy, has warned both the countries, that is Pakistan and China, that they should not interfere in the internal affairs or India's internal affairs. Why the Minister of State for Home Affairs have made a point in regards to warning the Pakistan and China is because they are worried about the Union Territory, creation of the Union Territory, Ladakh. And in regards to that, or in response to the Pakistan and China, Indian Minister of State for Home has made it very clear that creation of the Union Territory is an internal part of India or internal affairs of India. No foreign country can comment on the internal affairs of India in regards to the granting a particular area as a Union Territory. For example, Ladakh as an Union Territory on August 5th, 2019. So if you look at here, this is Demchuk area. So this is the sector Demchuk area wherein the Chinese soldier has got lost into the Indian territory, and this is Chuzul. Chuzul is on Indian side, and you have Moldo here, M-O-L-D-O, Moldo sector. So they would be handing over the, Indian army would be handing over the Chinese soldier who has got lost into the Indian territory by taking up the entire procedure, establish protocols, interrogation, medical examination, and then it will be handed over, the soldier will be handed over to the Chinese army. And this is the area wherein you have the Galwan Valley, and this is the Pyangong Lake. This area is the Pyangong Lake, you have it here, and this is Chumor, and this place is Daulat Beg Oldie. And you have a road from Darbuk, from this place, Darbuk to Daulat Beg Oldie River. You have Darbuk Daulat Beg Oldie Road. There is a road which is of almost 255-260 kilometers, which has been completed in the year 2019. And this road is the one which is a major concern why China is not able to digest, because we have gone ahead with the infrastructure development of the highway in the from Darbuk to Daulat Beg Oldie. So you have here the Karakoram Pass, and you have an Indian Air Base here at this place, Daulat Beg Oldie. So there will be a connectivity from almost from Leh, Darbuk, Shok, and then Daulat Beg Oldie. Leh, Darbuk, Shok, and then Daulat Beg Oldie. So that connectivity of the national highway is the major concern where China is not able to digest. That is why it is raising, or it is trying to infiltrate into India along the eastern Ladakh. And before I get into the next topic, Shiv Prasad Chenda is on, CM Raju is on. A warm welcome to both of you to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And the Minister of State for Home also has mentioned, that is Kishan Reddy, has also announced 7,500 megawatt power project. This is crucial information for the prelims 2021, and this 7,500 megawatt power project will create 5,000 new jobs in the Ladakh area, and this power project will serve the local population. It will also serve the farmers and the industries in the particular region, that is the Ladakh Union Territory. And the Union Territory, creation of the Union Territory, the central government or the Union government makes it very clear that because of the creation of the Union Territory, there would be a heights or new heights of development which will take place in the Ladakh Union Territory, and the developments would be in regards to the power sector, telecommunication, road and air connectivity. Along with that, there would be developments in the education sector and health connectivity. Thereby, the government or the union government is emphasizing that there would be new heights of development by the creation of the new union territory, that is Ladakh. And then the minister also states that there would be two cities which would be taken up in the union territory, and it will be developed as the smart cities taken in regards to the development and air connectivity. And thereby, by having the development or infrastructure development and air connectivity, and considering two cities of the union territories as the smart cities, there would be a boom to the tourism sector. There would be boost or boom to the tourism sector, and that would make sure that there would be more flow of the people, trade and tourism would further grow. Thereby, the power project and then the telecommunication, the roads and connectivity, education, health, all are taken into consideration by the union government by creation of the new union territory, that is Ladakh, and making sure that there would be a progress with a new heights for development. And Mahi Reddy also joined, Harsha Sri, Gauri Naidu, Mahi Reddy, Ravi Varma Bogdi, all of you, a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. Okay, Mahi Reddy says, sir, what is megawatts? So this is the capacity. This is the capacity of electricity generation. This is the capacity of electricity generation or generation of electricity. Megawatts. 1 megawatt, 2 megawatts, 3 megawatts. Same way you have the power projects of 7,500 megawatts. So it is the capacity of electricity generation. I hope Mahi Reddy has understood. Fine. Now I'll get into the next news, wherein our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has delivered a meeting, or he has addressed a virtual meeting at the University of Mysore Centenary Convocation, and during the delivery or the addressing the people there, the students at the University of Mysore Centenary Convocation, he has made it very clear, or he has called upon the youth, that is the students, to be flexible and to be adaptable. And these are the two keywords which was emphasized by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi in regards to addressing the students, so that they should be flexible and adapting to the changing nature of the jobs. We have to focus at the what kind of jobs are available in the market in India, locally, internationally, that is globally, and according to that the Prime Minister is making or emphasize that the students or the youth of India have to be flexible and adaptable to the changing nature of the jobs which are present or which would be progressively making that these are the jobs which are available in the future. So for those jobs the youth has to be flexible and adaptability, because the nature of the jobs, the forthcoming nature of the jobs is changing. So when the nature of the job is changing, the youth has to be flexible and adaptable to the changing nature of the jobs. Otherwise the mindset of the individual or the youth of the students will, if they are not adapting to the new kind of jobs, they will be left jobless, unemployed. So therefore the Prime Minister Narendra Modi had very clearly emphasized at the address of the University of Mysore Centenary Convocation that flexible and adaptability is very, very important. And he has also emphasized on the skilling. These three are again very important keywords: reskilling and upskilling. That is required in the modern day world, and this is what was focused by the National Education Policy 2020. There is lot of attention being paid to the skilling, reskilling and upskilling. Skilling, reskilling and upskilling is emphasized or paid lot of attention in the National Education Policy 2020, which the government of India has come up. And this National Education Policy of 2020 is a multi-dimensional approach. It is a multi-dimensional approach. It's a keyword which you need to focus, or it has to be mentioned while you are preparing a short notes in regards to the National Education Policy. It is a multi-dimensional approach towards the education, and because of the multi-dimensional approach towards the education, it would certainly bring fundamental changes in the field of education and make youngsters more competitive. When there is multi-dimensional approach, only then you will have a flexibility and adaptability in your mindset. And when there is flexibility and adaptability in your mindset, so certainly the youngsters will become more competitive because they are flexible and adaptability, and they will become more competitive to the changing nature of the jobs which would be prevailing or which would come up in the near future in India and also globally. So skilling, reskilling and upskilling are very, very important and has been paid a lot of attention in the National Education Policy 2020 by the Union Government or the central government. And Prime Minister has also called upon the student community to strive for excellence. So it is not just trying to have some kind of knowledge. No, you need to have excellence in that particular area so that individual strength and ability. This is very important. That is, while you are going ahead with the flexibility and the ability of your mindset, so that is very important, which will strive for the excellence. And while you are striving for excellence, the youth is competitive enough to acquire any kind of jobs nationally or internationally also, that is globally. But he has also advised in regards to restricting themselves. What is very important is you need to diversify. You need to diversify your thinking capacity, your merit, your knowledge, that is through excellence, and thereby while you are excelling yourself, you need to make sure that you are not restricting yourself. That means when you are restricting yourself, you are just fitting yourself into your box. You are fitting yourself into your box wherein you wanted those kind of skills to be acquired, and when the job is wanting or demanding the skills which you do not possess or which you did not acquired during your school days or your education system, then once you are ready for the jobs, you will not get any jobs, so that you will be left out with jobs, no jobs, you will be unemployed. That is what the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is stressing here. He is saying, do not restrict yourself, do not restrict yourself, do not keep yourself fit in a box, because whichever box you are planning or whichever box you are trying to fit yourself, probably that is not which is made for you. Probably there is something else which is wanting for you to do. So that you need to be diversified. You need to have that adaptability and flexibility, so that the demanding nature of the jobs which is demanding by the market, you need to get adapted to that, and that is what is very important. And he says, take time out of yourself and then do introspect yourself individually. He is telling this all to the students, that is to the youth of India, and understand your strengths. And when you are trying to introspect and understand your strengths, and this will help you to choose your future path, so that there would be very clear message in your mind. You have a set goals, you have path, you have the excellence in you, so that you can choose your future path. And he also sought, or he has urged the students' attention for these startups which have been floated by youth during the COVID-19. And he says that startups are the strength of the country. And this is a key phrase. This is a key phrase which you need to focus. He says that startups are the strength of the country. Your progress, he is saying to the youth that youth progress is the country's progress. If youth becomes self-reliant, so will the country become self-reliant. So you can take this as the question for the mains examination. In regards to the message by the Prime Minister to the youth, especially focusing in regards to the youth progress is the country's progress. And if youth becomes self-reliant, so will the country become self-reliant. You can take this question and you can say, comment on this. So it is a mains 2020 question for the creation of the jobs or the country's self-reliant Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. And before I get into the next slide, G. Srinu has joined. A warm welcome to you, Srinu, to AKSIS Academy Daily News Analysis. Now I look at the another news. We will focus at the news which is wherein the WHO is cautioning to the entire world that you should not relax. There is no time for relaxation, because definitely there is a sense which is prevailing in the Southeast Asian region. There is a sense which is prevailing in the Southeast Asian region that there is a decline in the mortality and morbidity also. That is infected cases of SARS-CoV-2 and the death cases of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. Certainly there is spike in the mid of September, which I have discussed yesterday. It was spiked high, and then all of a sudden the infection cases and the death cases have decreased. It has increased and it started declining now. But what the WHO is, that is a regional director of WHO of Southeast Asian region, Ketrapal Singh, she is very clearly cautioning the Southeast Asian region people that you should not relax. Do not relax because of the slight decline of the COVID-19 cases in Southeast Asian countries. Because there could be a possibility, if you are relaxing and if you are not maintaining the guidelines or not adhering to the guidelines, there could be a possibility again this might again move up. So that is the concern. What WHO is cautioning, do not relax, and then make sure that the response only needs to be strengthened. Now at the time of the graph which is declining, now in the month of October, now 18-19, the data which has been taken up by the Department of Space and Technology, wherein we have seen yesterday the 7-member committee, 7-member expert panel, not committee, expert panel, and there we have seen mathematicians and epidemiologists were part of the seven member expert panel. So Department of Science and Technology has taken. If we are not following the protective measures, if we are not adhering to the guidelines of the health ministry, there is a possibility that it might spike. But this is a crucial time what the WHO is cautioning the Southeast Asian region, that let's strengthen now. This is a time that we need to strengthen our mechanism, protective measures and protective mechanism, so that we can curtail the virus transmission, so that we can break the chain of SARS-CoV-2 virus. Breaking the chain is very important. Restricting the curtailing the virus transmission is very crucial at this junction, because we can decline it further. And by February, as discussed by the Department of Science and Technology report, by February 2021, there is a possibility that the SARS-CoV-2 infected cases might come down to very minimal, and the regional director says that there should be no complacency. That means we should not take things very light. We should not be overconfident. Rather, we should be strengthening our system to focus to curtail the virus transmission. Gauri Naidu says, okay, thank you Gauri Naidu. And festival season. Now the WHO is making or cautioning the Southeast Asian region that they have to strengthen rather than being complacency. Strengthen the system. Do not be complacent. Strengthen the system. That is the protective measures, so that the upcoming festival season and the winter and cold seasons, they aggravate this situation. What do you mean by aggravate? They increase the situation. And if we let our guard down, that means if you are not following to the guidelines, that is wearing mask, and then we should maintain, if you are not maintaining physical distance, hand hygiene, cough etiquette, wear a mask, all this will prove costly to us. And if we are letting our guard is what? That we are taking some measures. What are those measures? That is physical distancing, hand hygiene, cough etiquette, wear a mask. All this if we are following, then we can make sure that we will still further see the dip or decline in the mortality or the morbidity, that is infected cases and the morbidity death cases. And the WHO is also mentioning about 3 C's. We need to remember the 3 C's. These are also again very important keyword, which you can add it as a short notes in your mains examination. And it says that the 3 C's are avoid crowded places, and then avoid closed settings, and avoid confined and closed spaces with poor ventilation. Whenever there is poor ventilation or closed spaces, closed settings and crowded places, we need to avoid that. See all these 3 C's. 1, 2, crowded, closed and confined places we need to avoid. And now because of the approaching festival season and the winter season, that is the cold season, WHO is cautioning that there would be a seasonal influenza and COVID-19 which would be in a co-circulation. They would come together. That the seasonal influenza, that is flu, or the COVID-19, both might create or pose a challenge for the health system and the health facilities in India, because both of them, that is the seasonal influenza and COVID-19, have the almost all these symptoms are similar. So in this situation or the approaching winter and the cold season, we need to be very careful about the measures, protective measures, or else there is a possibility that the spike might again move further up. M. Ramesh has joined. A warm welcome to you, Ramesh, to AKSIS Academy Daily News Analysis. And we will look at another news which talks about India is setting up a robust vaccine delivery system. So the keyword here is vaccine delivery system is the keyword, which is very crucial. And that too, which we are talking about, the vaccine delivery system, our Prime Minister is making it very clear that India is getting into the mode of a robust vaccine delivery system. India is setting up a robust vaccine delivery system so that the vaccine will be delivered to the one who are in need, so that the death cases, that is morbidity and the mortality rate of the COVID-19 will definitely come down, will decrease. And the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched an annual meeting, and that is called as the Grand Challenges. This is the keyword. Grand Challenges is the meeting which has been organized by our Prime Minister. I mean, he has launched it, and it was organized by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And this is one of the first countries, that is, India is one of the first countries. He has made it while he was addressing the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, which the launch of the Grand Challenges, he made it very clear that India is one country, or one of the first countries, which has adopted a flexible lockdown approach. It has adopted a flexible lockdown approach so that the death rates and the infected cases were or are relatively low compared to the all other countries globally. And this is a 3-day program, and the aim of the program, that is the Grand Challenges, is that to bring together the policy makers and the scientific leaders, and bring the policy makers and the scientific leaders so that there would be a scientific collaboration in solving the global health problems. Because yesterday we discussed about 7-member expert panel, and I said in that 7-member you have the epidemiologists and mathematicians. Definitely Government of India is trying to take the experience of various sectors or various experience groups and peoples or individuals, and here it is to bring the policy makers, that is the bureaucrats, and the scientific leaders to come together for this scientific collaboration in what? In solving the global health problems, thereby which we are emphasizing on the coronavirus. And this will be attended by the 1600 people, various who have come from 40 countries. That means a virtual meeting, and which was organized by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. This meeting is hosted by the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, and Indian Council of Medical Research, that is ICMR, and Niti Aayog. And this is very important. Hosted by is very important for the prelims, or for your better understanding how you need to look at, that is in regards to analyzing a news. Here a launch of the meeting, that is Grand Challenges, by Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, but hosted. So who was the host of this Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, that is of Grand Challenges? It is the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Indian Council of Medical Research, and Niti Aayog. And Sandhya has also joined. A warm welcome to you. And Kanakeshwar Rao has also joined. A warm welcome to both of you to AKSIS Academy Daily News Analysis. And there is a question here I asked. Okay, thank you very much. And here India is now at the forefront of the vaccine or COVID-19 vaccine development. So when India is at the forefront of the COVID-19 vaccine development, India is working, or India is having a very well established vaccine delivery system. There could be a possibility that a question could be framed on the key phrase, that is the well established vaccine delivery system, in the mains examination. About the vaccine delivery system, on the vaccine delivery system there could be a possibility of the question being faced, and this established vaccine delivery system. Established vaccine delivery system is now the digitized network. It is of the digitized network which has the digital health ID card, and this is used for securing the health of our entire, that is the all citizens of India, so that they can ensure immunization of the citizens of India. This established vaccine delivery system, it has a digitized network, and because of the digitized network, now we have a digital health ID card, so that by having the digital health ID card, we can make sure that we can ensure immunization of the entire citizens of India. And India is also capable for making low cost vaccine, and not only just have the capability of making or coming up with the low cost vaccines, but India can also help other nations in vaccine manufacturing and the immunization system, wherein the entire population or citizens of various other countries globally are in need. India's size, scale and diversity has made the global community curious about the vaccine delivery system, low cost vaccines, about vaccine manufacturing, and then helping the other nation in regards to immunization also. And this is basically the global community curious about India because of the people powered approach. This is a keyword which you can mention it in a short notes. So what kind of approach is been taken up, and why global community is curiously looking at India is because of the people powered approach. What is the approach? People powered approach. And we have certainly made sure that the mortality, morbidity, that is infected cases and the death cases, are certainly low in India, and there is a decline in the growth of the infected cases in India, and there is high recovery rate, and now the recovery rate in India is 88% of the infected cases, and this is because India has adopted a flexible lockdown. And if you look at all this, these are all, you can take it in regards to extremely sorry, this you can take it in regards to the measures. You can put it as a short notes in the measures, that how we are able to, or way forward, measures or way forward in regards to the vaccine delivery system. In regards to the vaccine delivery system, you can consider this slide as measures or way forward. Shirish Kumar has joined. A warm welcome to you, Shirish Kumar, to AKSIS Academy Daily News Analysis. And now we will look at another news which talks about Australia to take part. So certainly there was lot of suspense whether Australia will join the Malabar naval exercise in 2020 or further it will be extended to 2021, because if you look at last 3 years or more, India was not really happy to include Australia into the Malabar exercise, wherein Malabar exercise prior to 2020, that is up till 2019, it was a trilateral naval exercise. It was a trilateral naval exercise or a military exercise, but now it would be a quadrilateral. It would be a quadrilateral naval exercise. Now the Ministry of Defence has announced officially that Australia will join the Malabar 2020 naval exercise, consisting of India, Japan, US and Australia together, which is supposed to take place in the month of November 2020. And this is the crucial update which is happening, or progress at the time wherein China is certainly trying to contain India in the eastern Ladakh, in the Arunachal Pradesh and also in the middle sector, that is in Sikkim along the LAC. between India and China. That is, at this junction of India and China having the face off or the standoff. And Australia has first requested to join more than 3 years, but India was not keenly advanced in accepting Australia to be part of the Malabar exercise. Now, because of the changing scenario or the demanding nature of the strategic importance of the Indo-Pacific region, wherein China would pose a threat to India in the Indian Ocean and in the Indo-Pacific region. Now India, taking into consideration of India's national interest or the nation's or national security or national or nation threat, now India has accepted that Australia can be part of the Malabar exercise. So India's national interest is prime. Earlier it said no, now it says yes, because it wanted to have a vigilance, it wanted to protect, it wanted to make sure that it puts an hold on the advancement of China in the Indian Ocean, and India seeks to increase cooperation. Thereby it is seeking cooperation for the maritime security domain. So this is the keyword, that is increasing. India is seeking for increased cooperation and maritime security domain in the Indian Ocean and in the Indo-Pacific region. That is, we also have the defense cooperation with Australia, and also now if Australia be part of the Malabar exercise, India will have a further increased cooperation with the other countries also in regards to the maritime security domain. Once Australia will be part of the Malabar exercise, which will be participated by Australian Navy, and this was formally, it will bring formally the 4 nations which was earlier Quad countries. Now it will be Quad naval exercise or Malabar exercise. Now it will be Quad Malabar, and this is very crucial for the strategic location of strategic importance of Indonesian and Indo-Pacific, which is very, very crucial for India as well as Japan, Australia and USA along with India. These 3 are also worried about Chinese presence in Indian Ocean and Indo-Pacific region, Indian Ocean region or Indo-Pacific region. Jitendra has joined. Warm welcome to you, Jitendra, to AKS IAS Academy. I am really happy that you are into the mode of preparation even in the 9th class. So you will certainly get into the mode of the exact strategy what you need to focus for clearing the civil services examination by AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And I would say it with high grit, the way we take up the analysis will be very, very useful for you. Just follow the AKS IAS Academy. You can subscribe it and you will certainly be benefited. And a warm welcome to you, and definitely my wishes are with you, and also AKS IAS Academy wishes with you. Suresh has joined. A warm welcome to you, Suresh. And definitely an invitation from India in regards to the Malabar exercise. Australia will now participate, and this will bolster, that means it will certainly increase the ability of India, Australia, Japan and United States to work together to uphold peace and stability across the region. This is a keyword. So what is necessary or beneficial or advantage once the China joins, once the Australia joins the Malabar exercise, so that we can counter China effectively to uphold peace and stability across the region. And this high-hand military exercise, which is Malabar exercise, will enhance the Australians' maritime capabilities and also the Australia's building interoperability, thereby demonstrating collective resolve. This is again important. This is the collective resolve wherein we can support each other, that is India, Australia, Japan and United States supporting each other to be open and prosperous of the Indo-Pacific region, and also to make sure that that region is of peace and stability. And this Malabar exercise, by inviting Australia to be part of it, it showcases a deep trust and the 4 major Indo-Pacific democracies and a shared will to work together on a common security threats. So I would write here Malabar 2020. You can take this as an example. Instead of it I would write it here. Malabar 2020 showcased the deep trust between 4 major Indo-Pacific democracies and their shared will to work together on a common security interest. Discuss. This is for the mains 2020. In regards to the international relations, or there could be possibility this could be framed again in regards to the internal security. If it is in regards to the international relations, GS paper 2, and if it is internal security, GS paper 3. So probably it could be taken into consideration because it is in regards to the security interest. It can be posed as a question as the internal security of the mains examination, syllabus of mains examination, wherein it is of GS paper 3. GS paper 3. So a question, please do take it. You can, if you are willing to, you can just make a note of it. Malabar 2020 showcase the deep trust between 4 major Indo-Pacific democracies and the shared will to work together on common security interest. Discuss. And that would be a better understanding. So we are focusing from macro level and also from the micro level, that is mains point of view and also from the preliminary examination point of view. So this strategy is very crucial for you, and also you should also focus while you are preparing for the mains examination. Malabar 2020. And now we will go ahead recapitulating the DNA, that is daily news analysis, and this is again in regards to the India and China we have focused. This is very crucial keywords we did find out, that is adaptability and flexibility, which are required for the changing nature of jobs, and the World Health Organization is saying do not be complacent, but be or do have the strengthening of the protective measures, so that there is no time for relaxation. And here it is in regards to the robust vaccine delivery system, which is the keyword which India can project itself as a world global leader at the time of COVID-19 pandemic situation. And this is in regards to the internal security of the Malabar 2020, wherein India has accepted the invitation, or India has wanting Australia to be part of the Malabar naval exercise. This is GS paper 3 of the mains examination. So I would say a very big thank you to all. I hope this session was very informative, knowledgeable and also helpful very systematically to prepare or to analyze the prelims perspective and also mains perspective. Thank you very much and a good luck to everyone. Do like the video, share the video and subscribe the video, and do also visit the website of AKS IAS Academy and also subscribe the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy, that is Daily News Analysis. And then see you tomorrow again at 7:30 AM for the DNA, that is Daily News Analysis. And then do maintain the consistency in regards to your preparation. Do stick to your schedule of your preparation, and then do take care of your physical health and mental health so that you can attain your goal, that is short term or long term goals. And I would say a very big thank you to all. And Tejasri says thank you for explaining such important topics to us, sir. I would thank you very much, and I hope you all that AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis by me, that is Sandeep Bhushan Tumala, will certainly be beneficial, helpful, and you will certainly have an edge over others. I bet on this. I bet on this in regards to the preparation. If you are going ahead with the consistency, sticking to your schedule, and then take care of your physical health and mental health, and then prepare a strategy, and then you will get it. And then I would say thank you to everyone, and then I will come up with tomorrow the Daily News Analysis. Thank you very much.